Give me a nod when you're ready. Get ready, stand by.
It stops it from slamming the slide all the way forward. It gives just like a little, I guess like, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and I got a Prodigy update for you all. First and foremost, if you like the content, man, please consider subscribing to the channel. Drop a like, drop a comment, drop something. But jumping right into it. So when I took the Prodigy out to the match and I was shooting, the gun ran fairly well, man. I didn't really have too many complaints for it or with it, but I was having some light primer strikes, right? And I'm thinking that has something to do with the firing pin and the firing pin spring. So I had bought some parts to swap out to see if I could fix this, right? And I got the parts from Atlas Gunworks, and it's a mixture of Atlas parts and Dawson Precision parts, right? So the first thing I bought was this is the extra power firing pin spring, right? And I think what I'm going to do first is swap the spring, put the extra power on the stock firing pin, and then see if that, see how the gun runs like that. If that doesn't fix it, I got a brand new firing pin, and this firing pin is the extended version. And kind of seeing what they look like side by side, you can tell that the Dawson one is just slightly longer. Not a whole lot longer, just a little bit longer. I think maybe like a millimeter or something like that. Matter of fact, I got my caliper right here. I'll tell you exactly. So measuring the stock firing pin, we are at like 5707, right? And then the extended joint is 5118. So about, a millimeter and some change longer. And that should be everything to make it, to get rid of those light primer strikes. But you know what? I think I'll take that back. I think I'm just going to go straight into the extra power firing pin spring and the firing pin, and that should clean it up. And swapping this out is not a hard swap at all. On the back of your Prodigy, on the slide, you got this little piece right here, and all you do is your firing pin sits inside of here. You just press that down so that it compresses the spring, slide the back plate off, and that's pretty much it to swap it out. But like I said, I'm going to get that going. Hopefully this gets resolved this week, because I got another match coming up this weekend, another 5-stage match, and I'm going to do the same thing like I did last time and kind of run y'all through that and walk you through the stages as well. And another thing that I changed out as well too, so I had the stock recoil spring. I forget what the weight was on this, but what I did do is I bought a spring pack, right? And this spring pack came with a 12 spring, a 10 spring, a 14 spring, and a 16 spring, right? So the one that I have on in the Prodigy right now is the 12. So swapping out to a 12 and then running the extra power firing pin spring and the extended firing pin, and I'm going to see how it runs. And I'm also going to test it with the 10 just to see what the recoil is like and see what it does, man. But I think those should be the last things that really make the gun run flawless. And if all that's resolved, then I'll look into like a porting solution. Also, another thing too, last thing, is these little, man, I forget what these are called, but they basically go in between your recoil system, and it stops it from slamming the slide all the way forward. It gives just like a little, I guess like a little cushion, a little buffer in there. I think that's what's called right there, shock buff. And these are Wilson Combats, but I'm gonna put that in there too. And that should be, man, that should straighten it up, man. It should clean up the slide. So throw those buffers in there, throw the recoil spring in there, the extra power spring in the firing pin, and I should get 100% primer detonation on every fire, and that should be it, man. And then the Prodigy should run flawless, man. Another thing I talked about was the rails. When I said I did the rails and somebody was asking like what they look like, this is what my rails look like. and I polished them on the top and on the sides. But that's it, man. That's all I got for y'all right now. More to follow. Stay tuned. I'm out.